what is going on? She's just deleted her Twitter. She's getting called out because it was exposed, because an interview got brought up.
The Indiana Fever president is in full-blown panic mode after Caitlin Clark exposed her in front of the entire league. Fans are stunned, and the backlash is growing by the hour.
I'm not joking when I say this. Something's gone weirdly wrong. Like, we literally hired a freaking chronically online GM.
But hold up. This isn't just about one press conference or a viral clip. There's way more to the story, and I've got all the details.
I have said before, and I will say it again, Stephanie White, Amber Cox, Kelly Crosscroft, the Indiana Fever president, they were not ready. Now, Christine Brennan in her book confirmed the WNBA and the Indiana Fever did not realize what they were about to get themselves into with drafting Caitlin Clark, because the popularity they weren't prepared for and didn't see coming.
You know someone's feeling the heat when they nuke their social media in the middle of a scandal. That's exactly what Fever president Kelly Crosscroft did after her now infamous Apple comment about the team went viral, and not in the way she hoped. Fans didn't hold back. The second the clip started circulating, Clark supporters swarmed X like bees on a dropped soda, calling out Crosscroft for trying to reduce Caitlin Clark, the literal engine of the WNBA's current relevance, to a generic product in a business metaphor. By Friday night, Crosscroft's X account gone. No explanation, no statement, no cleanup attempt, just poof. And that silence said more than any PR memo ever could. Fans weren't just disappointed, they were livid. We're talking about season ticket holders, diehards who've been rocking Fever gear through losing seasons, and now they feel betrayed. They're watching their team's front office actively fumble the moment they've all been waiting for. What's worse, this came on the heels of weeks of silence over Clark's treatment on the court. She's been knocked around game after game, with refs acting like they left their whistles at home. And now her own president can't even acknowledge her value without making it about the brand. Please. The fans saw right through it, and Crosscroft running for the hills only confirmed their suspicions. It's not just bad optics anymore, but a full-blown trust crisis. And the Fever's front office just lit the match. And then came Sophie Cunningham. But before we go into that, hit that like button if you think Caitlin's getting targeted on purpose. Drop a comment if you think the refs are just blind. And yeah, smash that subscribe button. Things are only getting messier from here.
Yes, Stephanie White, every single solitary move that you make is going to be scrutinized. Welcome to it. Right here.
Sophie Cunningham, the self-declared bodyguard of Caitlin Clark, the unofficial vice president of Try That on Our Court and You'll Get Dropped. And she just torched the league with words. On the first episode of her podcast, Show Me Something, Sophie went full scorched earth. Her monologue raw, unfiltered, straight out of a Netflix drama. And her target wasn't just rivals. It was everyone, especially those downplaying Caitlin Clark's impact in the league. You're literally dumb, as she said, not once, not twice, but 3 times. The clip exploded across TikTok, YouTube, and X. It's the phrase of the moment, and Sophie knew exactly what she was doing. But she doesn't just talk. This is the same Sophie who recently body-checked a Connecticut Sun player into a different time zone after Clark caught an elbow to the face. She got ejected and she didn't care. "I'm going to protect my teammates," she said. "That's what I do." But here's where it gets deeper. Sophie didn't just call out opponents or weak officiating. She fired shots at her own squad, the Indiana Fever. She claims some of the real disrespect toward Caitlin is coming from inside the locker room. Sources close to the team are calling her podcast a declaration of war. That tension fans have been sensing, it's real. The culture clash rocking the WNBA, old school vets versus viral stars, isn't just league-wide. It's brewing right inside Indiana. And Sophie, she's not here to play nice. She's here to blow it all up.
If I was a ref, I know I would mess up all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that your job is easy, but when it is a a simple call right in front of your face multiple times. What are you doing?
In San Francisco tomorrow, you're on the Las Vegas Strip. What can the Las Vegas expect from Sophie?
Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna be me. I don't go in there trying to predetermine anything. I'm dialed in. I need to focus on hitting my shots, making sure I'm executing the schemes right. I'm not focused on the extracurricular activities. And you know what? During that, it was just part of the game. I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build-up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. And I'm a team player, so it's all good.
Let's just say it. Caitlin Clark is getting hunted on the court. Elbows, body checks, eyes gouged, and the refs dead silent. If this were the NBA and someone laid hands on Steph or LeBron like that, there'd be texts, suspensions, and breaking news alerts. But in the W, Clark gets mugged, and it's just play on. Take May 24th, Fever versus Liberty. Clark gets rammed mid-play by Natasha Cloud. Shoulder down, obvious contact in a 2-point game. The refs stared like statues. No foul, no reply, just Clark frozen, palms up like, "Are y'all serious right now?" Meanwhile, the buzzer goes off and the Liberty celebrate. Sophie Cunningham didn't hold back. She went scorched earth again, saying, "There's just more for her." And she's right. The double standard is loud, brutal, and now impossible to ignore. This isn't tough defense, but a targeted chaos. Even some rival players have quietly admitted there's an unspoken agenda. Make her earn it. But that's code for break her before she shines too bright. And that's exactly what's happening. Except Clark won't break. She didn't come to the league for a glorified hazing ritual. She came to dominate. And when refs refuse to blow the whistle, Sophie's out there throwing shoulders and fire on the mic like it's her full-time gig. This isn't just some bad calls. It's becoming a trend. Honestly, it's starting to feel like there's a whole conspiracy going on. If you're still here, you know this story is bigger than basketball. So, don't just watch Get in the Mix. Like, comment, and subscribe to stay ahead of the spin. The next twist could drop any second.
It wasn't a dirty play. It was an intentional foul, and it was meant to send a message. It turned into a scuffle, and I don't think anybody wanted that. But the way that the game went and how egregious the referees were and how they were not protecting players, and they especially weren't protecting the #1 player in this league, the biggest draw in this league, which is Caitlin Clark, and they continue to not do that. To me, this was not a dirty play. This was making a statement because the referees didn't do their damn job. This would not have happened at the end of the game if the referees did their job during the first play. If the referees did their job, not just the first play, every single play leading up to that. If the referees had control of the game, that is their only job. The referees' first job, their #1 job, is to protect their players.
Like, I get it to a certain extent, and like every rookie coming into the league, that's how you're going to treat them. But there's just more for her.
Things are not okay behind the scenes in Indiana. And now this isn't just drama, but full-on war. On one side, you've got the corporate suits trying to mold the Fever into some polished Apple-style brand. On the other, players, fans, and even rival coaches who know the truth. Caitlin Clark is the brand. Period. But here's where it gets icy. Fever. President Kelly Krokoff decided to downplay Clark's impact, and that's when things snapped. Enter Sophie Cunningham, who didn't just disagree, she went scorched earth on her own bosses. And this wasn't some emotional slip-up mid-interview. Nope. Insiders say that podcast rant was planned. A calculated strike after hearing the president's comments. Sophie didn't just shade the WNBA. She called out her own front office in public with receipts. That's not frustration. That's rebellion. And honestly, it exposed a major identity crisis inside the franchise. The Fever want to build a dynasty, but they already have the centerpiece. And instead of celebrating her, they're acting like she's a threat. The team is now torn. Some are all in on Caitlin as the future. Others are clinging to old-school control. And guess what? The fans aren't blind. Neither is Sophie. And judging by that mysteriously deleted X account, neither is Krokoff. Let's be real.
That we want to sustain the growth and the interest level in the franchise. I mean, this is about the Indiana Fever Yes, we have a foundational player in Caitlin Clark and Leah Boston, and we're going to continue to add to that. But I want this team to be the leader in the country, and a brand, an enduring brand, like Apple or something. I mean, we have a real opportunity.
If this was LeBron James getting slammed to the floor after an eye poke, Twitter would melt. SportsCenter would run it on loop. But Caitlin Clark, she gets crunched, no whistle, and crickets from the league. Imagine Steph Curry getting beat up game after game with zero protection. Would the NBA just shrug it off? Hell no. But that's exactly what's happening to Caitlin Clark.
She's not just some rookie.
She's the reason people are tuning into women's basketball at all. The ratings, the sold-out arenas, it's all Clark. She's the cash cow. And somehow she's getting treated like a bench warmer. Sophie Cunningham said it best. Unacceptable. Coach Stephanie White hijacked a press conference to roast the refs for letting it slide again and again. The fans see it. The media sees it. But the league's silent. Here's the ugly truth. If Clark were a man, this league would be bowing down. Instead, she's getting shoved around while her own team execs barely lift a finger. Sophie's fighting for her. The fans are fighting for her. But the people who should have her back, they're too busy playing politics. Clark isn't just the future. She's already arrived. The problem is the old guard still acting like it's 2010, and they're about to get run over. This isn't just a controversy, it's a reckoning. Caitlin Clark's star isn't fading, but the WNBA's leadership and her own franchise might be fumbling a once-in-a-generation opportunity. And as Sophie Cunningham keeps reminding us, you're either with her or you're literally dumbass. And if you think this was wild, trust me, the next update might break the internet. So subscribe, hit the bell, and let your voice be heard in the comments. This storm's just getting started.
Second, take a look here.
What the WNBA is doing with Caitlin Clark is the equivalent of the NBA doing this to Michael Jordan in 1986. It just doesn't make sense to me. You are biting the hand that feeds you. Mind you, without Caitlin Clark,